Hey y'all, this is Amanda and welcome back to my Texas Zone 8A garden, and today we're going to be doing a number of small garden chores all in one video. Okay, you guys, fair warning, I've got bad allergies. It's just that time of year and, not something that's awesome for a gardener. Okay, so up front, I've got two Suncredibles. The one over that direction is the Proven Winners Suncredible Saturn. And this one that is completely dead is my Proven Winners Suncredible Yellow. It was fine 3 days ago. I don't know what happened. I don't see any bug, disease, anything like that. I don't know if it was a water thing, or truthfully, I wonder if this guy was just so massive it had just reached the end of its life cycle, which I think is definitely a possibility, because if you look at this guy is 5 feet tall, about 4 feet wide, absolutely massive. This is one plant. I'll try to find the video of when I originally planted this so you can see the size on it. But anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut this back today since it's dead and it's not looking great. So let's go ahead and get that knocked out. Okay, so that obviously cleared a massive space out. Look, this is what it occupied right here. It was glorious. I am going to be planting Suncredibles every year because I love them so much. Now this other one over here looks fine. I don't see any major issues. Doing a little bit of trim back just for the heck of it, but it looks fine. I don't know what happened over here. This guy snapped like there was no tomorrow. It had absolutely no growth or no green left in it. I don't know. It's gone. It's just, I can't believe how quickly it just went from wonderful to nothing. But I really think it was just at the end of its life cycle, and that's just where we're at. All right, so Suncredibles next year, definitely planting them. Very happy with them. They're really great cut flowers as well, especially if you're looking for something in our particular zone, something that's really going to put up with the heat and the drought. Suncredibles are definitely the way to go. Okay, over here we have a massive amount of Coleus, which have just done beautiful this year. I've been very happy with them, very proud. There's a wide variety. So this general area, all these kind of light greens are just a general Coleus that I got from a local nursery. They did not have a particular variety name with them. This one right here is called El Brito by Proven Winners, and this color right here is Sedona Sunset by Proven Winners. Everything is done beautiful. I'm very happy with it. It gets a lot of sun during the day, which is different for most Coleus, and it's handled it well. If your Coleus gets good water supply, it should do fine in the sun, not have any issues. But at this point in time, I've allowed it to flower a little too much, and when you do that, it kind of signals the Coleus to stop putting any kind of growth into its foliage, and that's what I grow Coleus for. I grow it for the foliage. So what I'm going to do is just spend a little bit of time coming through, clipping off all the flowers. You can actually just pinch them off if you want. I'm just using my pruners today. But yeah, I'm going to cut back all the flowers because in my Zone 8A of Texas, our first frost isn't until November 22nd, so I still have 2 months of growing season left at this point. So I am not ready for these to go straight to flowering because I will lose them. They'll just basically start dying back because they'll focus so much on the seed production, the flowers. I'm not ready to be without them. I want them to last the next 2 months until our first frost. So let's go ahead and give them a nice trim back, simple, easy. Usually I kind of trim these back when I'm out here, I'll just come and I'll pinch them as needed. I guess I've just walked by them a million times not paying attention. So it's time to just get that knocked out and taken care of. this will help reinvigorate them. I love Coleus in a fall garden. I think it's glorious. The colors are beautiful. I love growing a ton of Coleus like this. This particular area tends to deal with weeds quite a bit. And so I jam-packed these in here when I originally planted them in hopes that they would create so much shade underneath them that I would not have very many weeds growing, and that has definitely happened. Definitely happy with how that worked out. Looks good. I'm sure I'll see more throughout the next few days when I'm out here, and I can just pluck them off as needed. But you see, it cleans it up a lot. Now, I think the flowers are pretty. I mean, I just don't grow Coleus for the flowers, and the bees and the pollinators definitely love the flowers, but obviously there's a lot of other variety of flowers for the pollinators in this area, so I'm not worried about them going hungry. But anyway, I think this looks good. Something you want to stay on top of as you're working and growing with Coleus. Now, right up front here, I have a bunch of liatris, and I'll put a picture of what that looks like. They're currently not in bloom. Actually, it was a really rough year for them. They bloomed, and it was so hot that they died super quickly, so I didn't really get to enjoy them. I didn't even get to cut any of them for an arrangement this year. It was so crazy. But I've continued to just allow all the leaves to soak in the sunshine and the energy and continue to grow the bulbs. But now the leaves are starting to brown. It's definitely time to be done with them. And this is an area where I typically like to tuck a bunch of pumpkins for the fall garden. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come down here and I'm going to trim these down at the base. This would also be a really good time if you wanted to dig some of these up and move them. Doing that in the fall is a really good idea. I'm not going to do that this year, but next year they will have been in here 3 years, so it's probably time to start trimming them, dividing them up and moving them to other places. I like liatris. They're kind of like a Willy Wonka look because they're very unusual looking flowers. They're super fun. Looks like I might have a little bit of poison ivy, so let me go get a plastic bag and remove that real quick. Okay, for poison ivy, I just take a plastic bag, cover my hand with it, and I come in and I pull it up by the roots, just like that. And then I can fold the poison ivy into itself and toss it in the trash. Okay, so got all that cleared out, just cut them all the way down to the base. Definitely with Liatris, you want to allow them time for the green, the leaves after they bloom, to really soak in energy and fill out those bulbs a lot more. But this looks good, so let's go on to the next thing. Okay, so the new trees are doing okay over here. This guy right here, the Golden Falls Redbud, has lost a few leaves at the top. I think it has a little bit of shock. I still think it'll be okay. We're past the triple digit temps, and so we'll start cooler in a couple of days. And so I think it should do okay. Just keeping an eye on it, make sure it's well watered. It's still very pliable. Everybody looks good. So, I mean, it's only about 6 to 8 weeks away from losing all its leaves anyway. So I'm not super stressed about it. This guy's doing pretty good. Definitely do need to come in and stake it. You can see how it's leaning forward. So I need to do that. Then I also noticed that there's some water retention down here at the base of this plant. So I have to make a decision of whether I want to cap off the additional water I put here or not. So I need to think about that. But they are looking good. I'm enjoying them. Can't wait to get the other stuff put into this portion of the garden. I have a lot of stuff on the way, and then I got to pick up a few more shrubs. I'm really excited. I did want to show you this sweet almond verbena over here that I recently planted. It had been in its can for like 2 months. It's doing really good, blooming like crazy. Even though I have allergies, I can still smell it. It smells amazing. Okay, let's get into the backyard and get a little bit more done. Okay, I am back in the backyard. Oh, let me get back here. And I have Maximilian Sunflowers back here that need to be staked up. That's this guy right here. And the one behind me right there is Maximilian Sunflower. And these guys get super tall. Super fun. Pretty excited about them for the future. This is only their first year. But they'll get really tall and they'll start bushing out and filling in this area back here, which will be really fun. So I'm going to get that up. This area is filling in nicely. I have a whole bunch of zinnias coming up, a lot of lemon basil looking in really beautifully. This is just a beautiful time of year. Once our pseudo fall hits here for North Texas, and everything feels better because it got some rain and the temps have cooled down a little bit. I love this view of the backyard. It's pretty. Everything's just really starting to fill in after such a long, brutal summer. Oh, it feels really, really good. Okay, I got 2 more things to get done and then we'll be done for the day. So let's go knock those out. Okay, I've run into a little bit of an issue over here. The amaranthus has grown up so tall that it has sucked up it's blocked all the sunlight getting to these tomatoes. So these tomatoes got nothing going for them, so I'm going to go ahead and just cut them back and be done with them for the season. Sometimes that happens, but I don't want them just back here rotting and bringing disease to the garden. So just go ahead and remove them. I'm removing all the little clips to start off with. And then I'm going to cut their lines up here. And I'm just going to cut them down at the base. I should be able to remove them pretty easily at this point. Here we go. Okay, and my pepper plants have kind of taken on a mind of their own. They are loving the weather. So they actually need to be staked up a little bit. Specifically, my jalapeno plants. Get back here, put a stake in. And I'll use a little bit of twine to kind of gather them around the stake. The pepper plants have so many peppers at the end that it's kind of like pulling them over. So I just put a garden stake in here, and then I'm kind of just reaching around and kind of pulling them together to support each other. And let me do this one back here. And this will hopefully keep the branches from breaking. Okay, check out this sunflower. Oh, sorry, you can hear the cicadas in the background. Ooh, there's a big pollinator on that guy. Isn't that beautiful? So dark. I don't know what this, I think this was a mix. I thought this was Magic Roundabout. I think this was a mix of American Beauty. So we've got a wide variety. This guy over here, chocolate colored, cherry chocolate. Really, really pretty. Looks good. I did want to show y'all, I finally had, let me get on this side. I finally had success with these marigolds. These are giant mission yellow marigolds. They're glorious. I'm going to be cutting them for an arrangement in a couple of days. Absolutely beautiful. Very, very happy with these. This is my first successful attempt with marigolds. They usually get spider mites really bad and don't last very long. But I waited later in the season to plant them, and I think that was the key for my area. Okay, can you believe this amaranthus behind me? This is red spike amaranthus. It's taller than me. I'm 5'10". It's absolutely beautiful. All right, you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed today's smaller, just little garden chores throughout the garden. This is something I'm going to try to do a lot more of because these are smaller chores that I kind of just skip over. I don't usually show you guys what I'm working on regarding that. And while they might seem simple, they might really appeal to someone out there. It might be a question somebody has, something someone was interested in. It might just give you a little bit of inspiration to get out there and just do a few things in your garden. All right, you guys, as always, she's a mad gardener or decorator or anything else that she wants to be. Thanks, y'all.